Blessings and love to I and I people. The farmer is here, Joshua Christ, to bring everything forward to remembrance. Today, I and I will read a scripture from 1 Kings. These words of right, I would like all those who are of wrong to listen to them skillfully. Prayer for wisdom granted. And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David until he had made an end of building his own house and the house of I and I, mother and father, Haile Selassie I, and the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of I and I, Lord and Empress, until those days. And Solomon loved the Empress and Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon the altar. In Gibeon, I and I, Empress and Lord, appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. And goddess said, "Ask what I shall give thee." And Solomon said, "Thou hast shewed unto thy servant David, thy father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, Empress, O Lord, I goddess, I God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, thy father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people, that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people?" And the speech pleased I and I, Empress and Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. And goddess and God said unto him, "Because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings and queens like unto thee all thy days. And if thou wilt walk in I and I ways to keep I and I statutes and I and I commandment, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days." And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream, and he came to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Empress and Lord, and offered burnt offering, and offered peace offering, and made a feast to all his servants. Solomon wise decision. Then came there 2 women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. And she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me while 9 handmaids slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not thy son which I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is thy son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is thy son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, The one saith, This is thy son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other said, Nay, but thy son is the dead, and thy son is the living. And the king said, Bring I a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in 2, and give half to the one, and half to the other. Then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. And all Ethiopia heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of our goddess and our God was in him to do judgment. This scripture proves that the woman who take the life of her own child will not hesitate to take the life of another woman's child. So I'm speaking to all of I and I brethren them out there, and all of I and I sons, and even all of I and I grandsons, because this is really something that a lot of us stray away from the truth. And the truth is, the men are wicked, but the sistrings are more vicious than the men. Because after they kill who they love, then they come forward and take that one who their sister love life. I and I, Anthony Johnson, which is our uncle, loved a sister in a place called Painland. And she was going with the Painlandan, who is a man named Milton Pusey. Now, I was talking to a brethren the other day who know of Milton Pusey. It ended up that he died while trying to take another man's life, another woman's child. And this brethren is a brethren where this brethren took a knife, and stuck it in I and I uncle's heart, and hold him on his shoulder, and turned that knife in our heart and look in our eye and talk to him, And that was what the sistering required. So King Milton wasn't wise as Solomon, because the life that he sacrificed for Delilah, Jezebel and Eve came back and took his own life.